Hey guys, welcome back. So listen, today I want to show you something really quick. If for any reason you guys want to remove the radiator cover, or maybe you want to install something like this, like a custom one, or whatever the design, there's one main issue is that once you install this, you have like a little cover that goes here on the sides, and you have all these wires in the way, and on the other side you have your brake reservoir. So those things need to be relocated. Now this is not very hard because all we do is disconnect them and we pass them through, feed them through the back, and we tuck them inside like this. Obviously we're going to have to pass these one by one, but on the other side you have your brake reservoir, and the brake reservoir needs to be relocated somewhere in order to be able to install something like this, because factory, the reservoir is on the side of your radiator. Let me take the camera on the other side. This is the view from the other side. So as you can see, you have the brake reservoir that usually is mounted over here. All right, is usually here. Now, in order to be able to put a custom uh, radiator cover, you're going to have to relocate this somewhere else. A lot of people online that I've seen that do these kind of mods, they don't really either explain what to do with this, or they don't even know what to do with this. So we're going to show you exactly what to do with this in order to liberate the whole space here, so you can go ahead and do a clean setup. That way you won't have any gaps. Everything's going to be lined up perfectly. So stay tuned, because this is the most important. So today I wanted to show you how you remove this radiator shroud. A lot of people could have, a leaking radiator, or they want to change to an aftermarket radiator cover. Regardless of what reason you want to remove it, here's the video that's going to be showing you how to do it. So first step is to remove that bolt. It's a 4mm Allen. All right. So here's the bolt right here. You're going to locate it and then just pull it out. By the way, the steps are going to be exactly the same for both sides, so I'm not going to do a video for each side, but you get the idea. All right, once this is loose, the second step is to remove this cover here. So to remove this, simply grab the top and just lift it out of its place. Then grab the bottom and pull this out like this. Then with a downward motion, just simply pull it out. It's as simple as that. If you don't do it the proper way, you might break these hinges. You might break this hinge over here. We don't want that to happen. So there's how you remove it. Very simple. Third step is to remove these screws right here. So you got one here. You have another one down here. Also a 4mm. Get a 4mm. And you can go ahead and untie this. Don't forget, put everything that it's for the radiator together. All right, now this side is free. Before you remove it, simply grab this oil reservoir for your rear brake. Just gently pull it out. All right, so you just put this out of the way and pull it out. Same thing for the other side. All right, then you go ahead and do the exact same process on the other side. And it's all going to come out. Now, something to keep in mind, because we already went ahead and removed this before because we had to change the voltage regulator. So you see these two wires here? These two wires are going to be connected to your voltage regulator down here. All right. So all you need to do is disconnect these wires. Your voltage regulator will stay here, and then you simply remove the shroud. Now, if you're looking to put a different design radiator cover, then you will be going ahead and removing these two. So these two are right here because your new radiator cover will come and attach there. So that's where it goes. There's a little connector here so that you could put this right there. But you're going to have to be removing this because your new radiator cover will go and attach on this. So there's going to be some relocations to be done. Most importantly, you're going to have to relocate this oil reservoir. Now, a lot of people don't know what to do with this. And again, in all these videos of installs and do-it-yourself videos that I see, yeah, well, this is an obvious thing. I mean, it's screws and you'll figure it out on your own. But this is your rear brake oil reservoir. What do you do with this if you want to put a nicer radiator cover? So here at Babel Customs, we're going to be showing you what to do with this to be able to put your new radiator cover, because with the new radiator cover, you won't be able to put this here where it used to belong. You don't have space, and this is connected. No air must go in this. Therefore, you know, a lot of people don't know what to do with this and they just give up. They don't know where to relocate it and how to relocate it. So we'll be showing you all of this here at Babel Customs. Guys, also I'd like to point out that once you're doing all of this, regardless of what's the reason, if you need to change your radiator, or if you need to change your voltage regulator like we're doing on this bike, or just planning on putting a customized front radiator cover, I mean, once you're here, we always like to give it a good clean and a good wash, because look how dirty and filthy all of this is. You know, it's like we don't like to have dirty bikes here at Babel Customs. So I mean, it's an extra step that doesn't take too long, and at the end, when the bike is completely finished, makes all of the difference. Why not just give it a clean? And you know, there's a lot of bugs. Actually, when we first took this out, there was butterflies, dead butterflies, and bees and all kinds of bugs in there. So we went ahead and passed the air blower. By the way, if you do decide to blow it with air, please do not put your pressure too high. All of these fins could get damaged. You know, don't get too close, and put the pressure at like 30 psi if you have a regulator. Or if you don't have that, just skip the step of blowing air. If you don't know what you're doing, you could damage it. To show you how much shit I got out of the radiator. Look at this. So guys, the first step is to go get yourself some tubing that is made especially for oil. All right, because brake oil is it's pretty nasty. So get yourself at least 3 feet, because we're going to be relocating this here on top. All right, is to remove all of this because you don't want to scratch anything. So you just go ahead and remove your airbox. Then we remove this, the tank cover, so that we can go ahead and route our tube. Put your bolt back where it was, because they're pretty easy to lose. All right, guys, so put a little something underneath so that you can collect the oil if any oil comes out. Try to do this in a way so that you minimize the oil spillage. By holding your tube upwards, you're going to minimize. Okay guys, so behind this here, there's a little pin. You need to remove that little pin in the back. And once you remove the pin in the back, this will pull out, all right? And there's a little pin in the back here. All right, so then you can loosen the brake cable, not completely, but just a couple of turns. Be careful because there's oil in there, so just enough for it to be loose. All right, so now you can start untying the bigger bolt. You need to get it loose enough so that you can get the cylinder to turn towards you a quarter of a turn, just so you can disengage the tube. Okay. The bottom of the cylinder is a hexagon, so you need to be able to turn it a quarter of a turn to be able to re-put it in the same shape. We needed to turn this on the side. Okay guys, so you need to understand that this part here is a hexagon, and to be able to rotate this, because this is all the way there. So to be able to rotate it from there to this side, you have to go a quarter turn so that you can put the hexagon back inside, because this is a hexagon here, it won't go back in. Once you did that, you tighten this bolt, you tighten your old bolt, and you're done. The idea was to get this out, and this moves. So this, we're gonna reroute to bring it out somewhere else. Okay guys, once you did all of that, you put your pin back in. And you put the little pin lock in place, same way you took it out. All right, now replug your tube and don't forget to put your little lock on top of the tube. Make sure there's no oil leaks or anything. Okay guys, once you put the clamp on, just make sure that there's a little hump over here. Make sure that your clamp is behind the hump. Just give it a little tug, make sure that it's tight and everything is in place. As you can see, we barely lost any oil, barely, and we're going to show you how to bleed it afterwards. Okay, so guys, we took the cylinder, we turned it so we can put this and it's straight. We fed the tube from here like this. We fed it through inside here. We went up here, tuck it in properly so that you can go ahead and close your tank cover afterwards. All right, and we pulled it out from here. Okay, so far, started from the bottom, now we're here. All right, so once you routed that through here, okay, you go ahead and make a hole there so that you can route your tube. You can pass this through that hole there, and we're going to cut it to length about here. So we passed it from here. We went like this, passed it behind here. It went up here, goes up here. We made a hole there, and we're going to come and attach it over here. Okay, guys, so as you can see, we installed this here, all right? Now, the last step is going to be, we're going to have to bleed the system, all right? Because right now we have all of this extra hose, which is full of air right now. So we're going to need to have to fill up with .4 oil, and we're going to fill it up and bleed it. We're going to show you this in another video. So it's going to be for another episode, but so far so good. This is how you relocate this so you can go ahead and install your front radiator. Okay, guys, we didn't really focus on these wires because it's pretty simple. You just disconnect these connectors, pass them through, go here, and you're going to tie them with zip ties. Make sure you tie them correctly because they might go in your fan, all right? Just make sure that they're tied properly, they're passed through. But this side, we didn't really put a lot of focus in the video because, I mean, it's pretty basic. All right, guys, so as you can see, this is the final result. This is what it looks like. So let's recap real quick what we did. So don't forget, guys, we started from this one here. We opened the cylinder, we turned it a quarter turn so that we could liberate the tube on top, because originally the tube goes all the way on the other side. So we took the tube out, we passed this whole tube here, as you can see. It went up here. Then we brought it up here, and we went up there, and we went inside to the airbox cover. We still haven't put the mesh grills in there because we wanted to show you how the routing goes, but we're going to go ahead and put black mesh grills inside there. And guys, let us know if you have any questions or if you're uncertain about certain products, like for example, what kind of oil or what size dimension for the tube to use. We also sell this, so you can contact us if you want to be sure that you get the right stuff. And if for any questions, comment down below and we'll gladly assist.